Welcome to the Riff. Today, Janaya Johnson sits down and asks Jeremy and Justin some questions. We were hoping for some questions like, what's your favorite type of animal? Or what's the best Saved by the Bell episode? But Janaya goes down a different road and asks questions that are meaningful. Well played, Janaya. Well played. We hope today is helpful. Thanks for listening.
Well, hello, Riff listeners. Great to have you. And I know if you're watching, you are like, what is going on? This is not the normal setup because I've never done a Riff episode on this side of the table.
It feels good, right?
No, that's not where I was going. Like a fish out of water, not a mermaid type either. And so anyway, but Justin and I, we're on the hot seat. Ouch, roasty toasty. Buns are burning because we are on the hot seat today because we've got Janaya Johnson, my oldest daughter. Love my girls the same, but I've just known her longer.
We've got a bumper sticker. That's awesome.
It is good.
It is good.
The buns are burning?
Oh, no.
Stay back, my buns are on fire. That would be a great bumper sticker.
That would be a great bumper sticker.
Anyway, so Janaya's going to be asking us questions today. But before we dive into that, we got an event coming up this next Sunday. Masterclass. So,
man.
Little clarification. Do you need to have a master's degree to go to the master's class?
No.
Okay. Will you get a master's degree if you go to the master class?
No.
Okay, but it is a one-time of opportunity to hear Dr. David Swift as he talks about the Enneagram. Janaya, you know the Enneagram.
I love the Enneagram.
And you are an Enneagram?
4.
That's right. And Justin, what, are you an Enneagram?
Yeah.
What are you?
I don't know if I've heard this is like the number to be.
Yeah.
3.
That's what I am too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
And at our organization, we found that we work at church, North Point Church. You're invited. There was a season where we were surrounded by 3s. Turns out we realized they were reminding us in the hiring process of someone we really liked ourselves.
Yeah.
And so
I love the mirror. Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So we're going to talk about the Enneagram. It's Sunday. I think it's at 4:30. We'll be hosting it at the Springfield campus, live streaming it at the Nixie campus.
Food.
Yeah.
Childcare.
Yeah.
Masterclass.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Community.
So, it's going to be great. And we have a lot of opportunities to dive into community too, right. And we'll highlight some of those there. So that's Sunday. You can check it out on our Next Steps page online or on our app as well. We'd love to register so we can prepare with you in mind. But that'll be great. It'll be a quick overview of the Enneagram, whether you're familiar with it or not. I think it'll be helpful. So now today we're gonna dive into questions. Now Janaya is an avid Riff listener. Janaya, how many of our Riff episodes do you feel like you've listened to?
Oh, goodness. I would say I've listened to nearly all of them. I will say I haven't done all of them, but I'm catching up. I'm on a continuous catching up every time.
Okay. What's your favorite? What's your favorite one? What's your favorite one?
I always love when you two are together because I know
blushing. I don't know if you can hear that if you're listening, but I'm blushing.
It makes me laugh. There's always something that makes me laugh.
Are my cheeks flushed right now?
A little.
I feel it. I can feel
Upper
it.
cheeks are definitely flushed.
No,
but man, we're on the hot seat, so I bet it's all around. So, okay, do you have a least favorite episode of the Riff?
I can't think of anyone. I'm sure there is one.
None sticks out. They're just all kind of tied.
None stick out.
Okay. Okay. So, so Janaya, we're gonna have you. We have a question link. So highlight the question link because we're gonna highlight that.
We'll have that in the show notes.
Okay.
We'll have it in the show notes.
Just hit a link if you have a question, and it's going to shock you that we don't have enough questions that come in every week for us to do this episode all the time.
Well. Yeah, that's right.
But you can help change that by if you're interested in any question, like for real, whether it's something that we're going to take as a whole topic that we hit for an episode, or like today we're going to do some rapid fire. But Jay, I want to start with you. So obviously you've been down in Florida for the last 5 years. Tell us a little journey of Florida.
Oh my goodness! Well, I started as a Southeastern undergrad, and I completed my degree.
Boom. Yeah, and you got good grades.
Yeah. I did.
I wish I had like a confetti button.
Yeah, if we had a confetti, I bet there's show notes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. No,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
maybe
you
emojis.
graduated.
Yeah, I did. I did with my BFA in creative writing.
Okay.
I've talked about it before on the podcast, but I've always been an avid Disney fan.
Yes, you have. Now, time out. So you Disney fan, that means you've been a pass holder.
Yeah, all 5 years, which is crazy.
You got a Florida. Is that how you say it? Florida driver's license.
Yes, Florida driver's license. That was a crazy big achievement with my Florida
Plates.
plates.
Yeah. And then last year you applied for your dream job.
I
So tell us a little
did.
bit about that.
I applied for Disney after. I kind of told myself that I wouldn't apply until I moved closer to Orlando. But then
You cheated.
I did a little bit, but I did do what I could to find a job in Lakeland at the time, and I wasn't getting anything back. So I just figured I would take the shot and I would submit a resume to Disney. Now, at the time, it was like for parking, which at that point I was like, I just want anything, So I submitted my application. They took me in. They said, we got 2 options. You can do merchandise or you can do attractions. And I'm like, attractions is available. Of course I want to do attractions. I've served enough years at Walmart to where I realized merchandising is not for me.
Well,
But no, so I work with parades and operations down Main Street. So
Protector
everything
of the
that goes
mouse,
down
aren't
for
you?
Protector of the mouse. Yeah.
helping kids get the autographs they want.
Sector of the mouth. Do you have to wear like
yes, because we got 2. Sorry.
Do you wear a face shield
Oh goodness.
and like a baton?
Oh wow, that that would be so fun.
Riot
I
gear?
do know the motions.
I
to
imagine
do a
you
lot.
in riot gear right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Okay, so Janaya,
Yeah.
or if that is your real name, because we're not
Ooh.
allowed to give Disney trade secrets, give us one behind the scenes Disney thought that is legal to share. Or can we do Q&A and you just blink twice? Okay, how about this? Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a character that's supposed to be magical in a less than magical scenario behind the scenes? Yes or no?
Everything at Disney is magical. So
Okay, how about this? I don't think we're going to get her to crack jokes. So Snow White on a smoke break, nothing? You're not going to give us anything here?
Oh my goodness, no. Snow White is a 14-year-old child, and I don't think that's allowed. So
Okay. Well, so working at Disney. Now then, you've also been working a retirement center, which is awesome because one day you're going to be picking out mine. So I want you to have experience in the field.
Yeah.
And so then Sydney's moving back. You had 3 roommates. They're all moving out. And so you were in this spot where you had about a month to figure out, am I going to move to Orlando? I got to move out where I'm at, figure out life.
Right.
And so tell us a little bit about now you're back in Missouri. So give us a little bit of this unforeseen interruption for you.
So yeah, I think in the midst of everyone deciding that they were going to move out, whether that be for being married
Lame.
or whatever, totally. No. I just was kind of overwhelmed in the midst of trying to figure out what was next. And I've always wanted to be that independent person, but it's really hard to be without somebody by your side or trying to figure out realistic options and things that just the whole new adulting part of my life it's a lot. But recently I had a seizure, and so that kind of put things on hold in certain ways. So
what that means right away
Yeah.
is the good part of it for me is that means you get to come home and for a limited time, even though I know it's a season, and I get to spend more time with you. And Sydney's moving back, so I have this weird moment. I think it's a gift to be able to have both the girls here.
Yeah.
But the thought is, you're still working at Disney.
I'm here too.
Yeah, honestly, Justin,
I
that
know
takes
you
the
would-
edge off.
No, yeah, you always mention like them coming home.
You've been here.
For a while, and I don't know.
You've been a great replacement.
Yeah.
No, and you don't have to.
It's like the story of the prodigal son. And just get the fattened calf, man, and celebrate. Why do you have to be like that? Come back in.
Oh my goodness.
So you're still working at Disney.
Yeah.
You know, we'll keep that cheering of you continue to be able to provide great Disney discounts for your family, right?
Oh, definitely.
Listen, I got to go. I was in Disney about a year ago, and I had Janaya as a tour guide.
Oh, my word.
And it was, the girls absolutely loved it.
Yep.
It was like a new level for
It was so
you.
fun.
I mean, it was like, it was great. It was great. You do a great job.
Thank you. That was so fun. I was glad that you let me intrude on your vacation time.
It was so fun.
It was a really good time to see y'all in the Disney environment and get to kind of, it's like, you know, there's the one kid who knows Spanish, my sister, and she gets to flaunt that in Mexican restaurants. And I'm not really fluent in any other area in language. I do love ASL. However, it's in that way, when I'm at Disney, I become that person.
American Sign Language.
American Sign Language,
Yep.
ASL.
Yep.
Well, I have to ask.
Okay, you're fluent in Disney. I have a question.
Yeah,
Are
fluent
you
in
ready?
Disney. Uh-huh.
This has bothered me for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Wow.
but Pluto and Goofy are both dogs. Okay,
Is that true?
is that true? Is that true? That's true, right? They're both
Yeah,
dogs.
no, it's true. It's
Okay.
true.
Why are they so different? Because Pluto can't talk. I've never, at least, I don't know if he can't. I've just never seen him do it. Goofy can. I mean, it's a little bit broken, but it's there.
You know, yeah,
What's
the
going on?
undertones are not great. I will say I don't really know what's going on. That's the truth, and
Thanks
it's
for
all
being
in.
truthful.
Yeah, no, of course. No, I think it's all in the imagination. And for whatever reason, I think of Mickey and Minnie as this cute little 50s couple, you know. And in that idealistic world, you know, you get the family and the picket fence house and, you know. So
And then
for
a
that,
dog.
A dog, of course. And, you know, I haven't seen little Minnies or Mickeys around, but the dog is a great way to start.
I
don't think mice are able to.
I get super upset with it.
No, yeah, and I understand. I know that that is
Do
a
you
big
though?
issue.
Because I mean, it's like a deep anger.
Yeah.
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 Now, I do have a question about Disney, but now you're supposed to ask us questions here in a second, but I got a question. Is you've done a group down in Florida. You were doing a group on Disney, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us just one. What is one principle we could understand about God, Scripture, Jesus that Disney
man.
highlights? Just choose one.
Oh my goodness, you can't do that.
Do you have one that comes out to you? Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a scene, maybe if it's a character.
One that stands out to me is Moana.
Okay.
For me, it represents, at least in my view, it represents God's calling on our lives and how Jesus can transform us in a way. If we got Tafiti, there's a beautiful scene. I always think Tafiti. That transformation scene, and it's just coming. I in a way, you could look at it a few different ways. I don't want to go into the theology of that. There's a few different ways to look at it, but it's a beautiful scene of the earth and heaven nearly, you know, kind of coming together to unite. And I really love the fact the grandmother was a hard one for me because for me, I saw that and it represented the Holy Spirit. And it's not necessarily always tame or always, I don't even know how to describe it, but as the grandmother came as this stingray and just reminded Moana who she was. And that call of I am Moana for me is like, I am God's daughter. You know, why am I being afraid of the thing that I'm being called to do? So, I don't know.
Now, I have not seen Moana.
Oh,
So some of these things to me,
Moana's a good one.
I'm
man.
curious.
It's one of the girls' favorites. And I am a crier at movies. I feel like I need counseling. There's something deep inside that's going on, and
I'm telling
Moana
you.
is a.
It's a crier on its own,
It's a
for
tough
sure.
one. It's a tough one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible
And for
we're going to have a
me-
lot more Disney listeners to the Riff because they're
Oh yeah.
No,
we hashtag
Oh
Moana?
yeah.
For me, it's like my roommate and I once we watched Sleeping Beauty, which that one,
I've seen that one.
if you've seen it with a biblical context, there are so many different Revelation chapters and verses that come through. It is absolutely beautiful when you watch it. But the second that we really pieced it together, we asked God, like, hey, this was cool. This was really cool. Can you kind of show us and open our eyes in a way that we've never seen Disney movies before? So through that process, we've learned to kind of take biblical concepts and scripture and see God through everything, because I'm a firm believer that God is in everything, whether they want to admit it or not. Whether the animators thought of that or not, God is in everything. You just have to
Gospel according to Disney.
Yeah.
So fun group.
It is.
So you found some of your tribe down there in that group. Okay. But Janaya, welcome to the show. This isn't your first one, but I'm glad you're here. Okay, so Justin and I, this is for truth. Have we seen the questions?
No, you have not.
Okay.
You have a list of questions?
I do.
What?
I do.
Yep.
This is goodness.
Submitted questions.
This is the first time on the Riff anybody's brought something like written down.
Okay, so
this is cool.
Okay, fire us some questions and we'll go for
Okay, so
it.
do we want, we can pick, do we want theological or
surprise us.
general?
Surprise us.
Okay.
It's a great first question.
Yeah.
That was a great first
How
question.
did we do?
Okay.
I think we crushed. You answered it. I mean, I didn't really. I just kind of was support. But
Okay, you get next one.
thanks.
Let's
we'll
see
see.
here. What in your childhood has defined who you are or have become in adulthood?
Whoa. Starting strong.
Hey, Mr. Moana.
Starting strong.
Give it to us.
Good grief. What? I was thinking, like, what's your favorite food? I was thinking lasagna. That was where I was going. But no, this is a good
We've got
one.
a few ones, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Do you want to go first?
No. I want to hear about
child-
little Justin.
Do we need to think about it for a little bit?
No, I've got this. Okay. I think I brought this up one time in a podcast, in a Riff episode, but I didn't tell you what it was for. My grandmother was sitting on my bed, said, get up.
Time to get up.
Time to get up.
I don't know
You're made for more than this.
Oh.
Right? That's
like the voice of the stingray.
the voice of the stingray.
I've not seen it.
Right? And that was a key moment. That experience, I was in a car accident, and the guy next to me was like a brother to me and died. So it was like this heavy moment that I had. And my grandma was able to kick me out of that. Huge life-changing experience on both of those levels. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
He worked for my father, and we were traveling in a truck, and then the truck hit a semi. And completely, the way he swerved, the only area in the cab that was safe was me. The rest of the cab was destroyed. So it was like a heavy moment and just heavy situation. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That was powerful. I think for me, one thing that just jumps out to me is my mom. She would always be this very heightened voice of God's got purpose in your life. And she would talk, and I knew that it was a mom thing, but it still felt hopeful to me because I really believe she believed it. And she would say things like, hey, I think you're going to have a big impact for Jesus. She would always say that. She always believed in me. Mm-hmm. And she would say, I just think you're going to be a pastor. And that was not desirable to me. But what I would hear from that is she just felt like God had me on earth for a purpose, and I was going to communicate purpose to others somehow. And looking back, I don't think I ever had a season where I didn't feel that there was some significance because my mom played her role so loudly and positively in my life. So that helped shape me. So, yeah.
That's cool.
That's a good one.
Good question. Thank you, Riff listeners. Now, you're a Riff listener, so it might be from you, but keep going.
A little bit. Okay. Oh, goodness. How would you define success, or what makes someone a good person?
What in the world, Janaya?
Good grief. Okay.
Do you have favorite food in there? Because I'm waiting for it.
Make sure you put in there
Golly.
pizza rolls or bagel bites.
Oh.
Somehow. Not now.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
now.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be a strong capper.
Okay, so how do I define success? I believe this. I will go for, we'll alternate. We'll pickleball it. So I define success as leveraging what God's given you for the purpose God has given you. That's it. Like if I do what I can with what I have for what he's interested in, then the success isn't about how much I accumulate, how much I have. It's not even about what I do with what I have as much as do I point it towards Jesus' purpose. So success could be, it's hard to see success in a bank statement. It's hard to see success on a resume. It's, am I being the Bible word is steward of what I've been given for what he's challenged me, called me. So
that's good. I think I would answer very similarly to that. There's a part of it that I haven't.
I already answered that.
I know.
You
I said
can't. It's gotta be
similarly.
totally different now. It's gotta be totally different.
I wasn't going to answer it the same way. I think for me, success is really difficult for me because I think the success part that I have the issue with is acceptance. So I think that there's so many things that you can do in life. And if you don't get to a spot of receiving what you have, you'll never get to a spot of feeling successful. And I have struggled with that all my life and still do.
Wow.
To where I'm like, well, another won't make me happy. Another's not going to give me success. This isn't going to give me success. Like there's an acceptance and a gift receiving. I'm horrible at gifts. I'm like bad at giving them and bad at receiving them. Both. I'm so bad at it. And I think that's part of the hard times that I have with like defining success. Because I can't define success for somebody else, honestly, because there's so many pieces that are layered. But for myself, I'm like, if I'm not able to accept or receive where my feet are, it's really hard for me to feel successful. And when I'm like, man, I just enjoy it. So like Fridays for us, like when we Sabbath, I feel the most successful on those days because I'm just like, this is great.
Wow.
This is awesome. Yeah.
do you still St. George's on Fridays?
Okay, listen. Is that a question? Because I don't want to rush it. What's your favorite donut?
No.
Are you sure? What's your favorite donut store? Is that on there?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
ahead.
All right. Listen, we've been St. George's family for years.
Yeah.
They got to a spot to where their chocolate icing tastes like Windex. And I don't know how Windex tastes. I don't know. But I'm just guessing from the way that it smells, this is the way that it tastes. And it was bad. Okay. And I was getting upset. I never thought I would do it, but I am now a Dunkin' member.
Mercy.
I don't know what's happening, but
You got all corporate.
like
on us.
I did go corporate, and I don't like that. I want to be local, but for some reason, I like right now. If you were to invite me to Dunkin', I'd say yes.
Funny you bring that up because I just switched to Mr. Glass for my household
Really?
products because their Windex tastes like chocolate icing. It's the best. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Do you have any more questions on there?
Oh, I've got
Fire 'em.
plenty.
And Justin, you're first.
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
I won't do your
Please
answer.
Be food, please be food. Please be food. Please be food.
What I know you kind of talked about this in your previous podcast and didn't realize that when I was,
And you know it because you're a Riff listener.
I am. But what's the difference between true and false prophets? How often are we following a false voice?
I get that one first, not the lead pastor. Okay.
Go ahead.
Cool. I think it goes back to fruit. So I think that when you look at, if you're talking true or false prophet, I think you can take that in a lot of different contexts in a different way. Are you talking like biblically, like who is the true and who are the false prophets? Or are you thinking like nowadays, like as you follow pieces, right?
Is that something that still is? Yeah, that's another one.
Wow.
That's another one.
I would say yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with they probably look the same but produce something different.
Wow.
It used to be in the day where if you were an idiot, only the people who lived near you knew. But now we have internet, so you can be an idiot on the world stage. So that's what I would say.
That's great.
All right. I love it.
That's great. Why are there so many theologies out there?
Ooh, because I believe we have a perspective, and I believe our own biography, our own life journey impacts our theology. And so because all of our biographies are different, we come from a different perspective. We see things. Our family backgrounds impact our life. Our highs and lows impact our life. Because of that, we take the story that we see of Scripture and we fill in a lot of the gaps. Because it wasn't a manual book. It wasn't an answer book. It's a story. And so there's a lot of purposeful gaps that we got to fill in trust and faith. So I also believe there's different styles, expressions. So when some people say, I don't know, there's so many different denominations, I'm like, it's because honestly, there are other people who love Jesus and love to express it in ways that I find are annoying. Okay. Or the way I do it, others would find annoying. And so it's fine. Like for me, I don't want liturgy. That's not bad. That's a great way. It's meaningful.
Can you
to some.
explain for the, if you're talking to 5-year-olds here?
Okay, so good. Liturgy, if it's predictable, if it's very predictable, for me, that's not what I want. But some people, that is their very systematic, planned, programmed, predictable act of worship. And the worship is pure. The worship is awesome. We just have different expressions. So I'm thankful. Now, Leanne grew up as a Navy kid. And so her dad was a chaplain. So they didn't have a lot of expressions of faith. It was Protestant chapel. And so she actually really likes a style that's more traditional, liturgical. It would be the way I described it, because it's meaningful to her, because that was a formative season for her. For me, it's not meaningful. It wasn't formative in my experience, and it's not my personality. So I think I love that there's plenty. That's why I think we have a lot.
That's interesting. I grew up in a liturgical setting as Episcopalian, so it did mean something completely different to me. So it's what he looks shocked.
I thought you meant the eating pescatarian.
Because I've seen you eat ground beef before.
Yeah, I have. I eat ground beef.
I mixed
really
the words.
an Episcopalian?
I really am. Yeah, Episcopalian.
Yeah.
So it's it's a very
Church of England.
It's Anglicanism, Church of England, right?
Okay.
Very close to Catholicism once it broke off. Anglicanism, all this kind of stuff, right? So it is very liturgical. But I also think that there is something wider, that I think there's so many denominations and so many, this is a complete just opinion, but so many denominations, so many theologies. I really do think people are trying to say the same thing. I think that, when you talk about Moana, right? It's this whole idea of something is pure and something now is not right, and there's something putting it back together, and you're not alone. Everyone feels this, right? You read Joseph Campbell, he's a phenomenal, he's passed, but a mythologist of talking about how it's just a myth on a myth on a myth on a myth, and that doesn't mean it's not true. It means that you're taking your biographies and you're blending them together with what your culture says is this or is this. So we've talked a lot, when you get into a state of certainty, that's when it becomes so whoa, it's not, I'm not certain on this, I'm confident of this, right? And for me, I'm very confident with Jesus has been that for me, for a lot of people, specifically in America, right? Of what that is and what that looks like. So I think that's probably maybe why there's so many out there, because I think with you, I think God's everywhere and he's speaking to everyone, and everyone has this inner call to be I need to connect with what is this, right? Yeah.
Well, that's scripture. That's right. That's what it says. It says all of creation.
Yes.
So I dig it.
Okay. So
we got time for maybe two more questions.
Two
and
more.
if you
And we're really hoping if you need a bonus question, we'll allow it. Depends.
food on there.
Okay.
Because it's not lasagna.
Okay. So let's see. Next 10 years in North Point. What?
You're just really going after the softball, easy launches.
I thought this was easier.
What in the next decade? Am I up first? No, you're up first.
Okay. Let's go.
I like
let's
it.
Next
No, I like 10. I like 10. Let's go 10. Let's go 10. I like 10. Because I'm more afraid of 5.
Okay.
Because that's more accountable.
Next 10 years. I'm not the lead pastor, so this is a tough one to answer first. In my mind,
what do you want it to be?
What I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of a place that changes lives. I want to be a part of a place that's safe. And I want to be a part of a place that doesn't look like any other church in this area. And not to be different, but to be refreshing. And to say, I want to be a leading voice in helping people that don't want to be a part of church say, I think it makes sense to me.
Right.
I think we've done that for the past 10 years. What it looks like, I hope it looks so different. Because if it looks like what we've done for the past 10 years, chances are it won't be that. So that would be my answer.
Okay.
I love it. I'd want to go there.
Well, you're invited.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
10 years from now, what I hope North Point is a safe place for people to find and follow Jesus, that it resonates with the year 2033 in a way that is fresh, as you're talking about, Justin. I believe Dream Center will continue to be a growing impact. And who knows what that looks like? Are there more? What are the other expressions of giving back in a beautiful way? North Point must be giving back in a way that reflects the hands and feet of Jesus. I would hope it makes sense to everybody in the 2033 vocabulary, vernacular, and style of this is what a good current expression of Jesus looks like. And so I would hope it's one of the places in the area that you can bring anybody to. Specifically, like what am I if I'm still the lead pastor in 10 years? Surely I'm close to being done with that because, I'll be getting old by then.
Your knees.
My knees.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
already,
shopping
they're-
for retirement centers.
I know,
I'd be
man.
able to be in one by then. My pickleball game will be strong. Here's what I do believe. I believe as we go further, we just continue to grow the voices of North Point. We continue to allow the campuses to be very powerful expressions of Jesus in their unique community. That we make this, we always fight against personality of a lead pastor, but we're always passionately pursuing the mission of the church. So no matter what it looks like with the details, man, I hope that mission is the same. And I hope it's ringing the bell in this area and that people are coming to faith in Jesus and being transformed. So, and I kind of hope there's a lot of churches like that, and I know that transformation, at least three other. I hope there's at least 4 good expressions of our campuses that are doing that. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see. So, and if I'm not the lead pastor at North Point, I hope 10 years from now I'm an invited guest on this podcast, and we see if it came true.
Man, you think the Riff's here in 10 years?
Oh,
yeah.
no doubt.
No doubt.
Wow.
I think the Riff is syndicated in 10 years. There, I said it.
For sure. Yeah, there's no doubt ABC is not picking this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Barbara Walters will be interviewing us in 10 years.
How did you do it?
Yeah.
How did you do it?
How did
Larry King.
I don't know.
I don't think.
Is Barbara Walters still?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
But if she is, she would.
Cappers.
Oh,
Here.
yeah.
Okay.
Lasagna.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Is it pizza, bagel bites or pizza rolls?
Ooh, that's good.
And then I've got one.
Who should
one
go
more,
first?
right?
I'll go first. It's Bagel Bites.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even need an explanation. Bagel Bites are great.
I've thought about this, and I thought about our
a little
conversation.
bready, though.
And
They're a little carby.
whoa, already kind of backing off?
I'm just trying to recognize the obstacle and get ahead of it.
Okay. That's what I've done too. And I realize I haven't explained my pizza roll method. And
Okay,
I think that that's probably what's really hurting
Yeah.
right now. You take the pizza rolls, okay, at least 30 at a time. You place those on a cookie sheet, and then you put those into the oven. Okay, you cook those at the time that is told on the bag. You take those out of the oven, and immediately you take a paper towel and you press those pizza rolls. Okay.
Why is there a lot of grease
Is
that
it
comes out of
grease?
there?
There is a lot of grease that comes out, and what that does though is it opens the pockets.
And do you ring it?
You do not
back
ring it.
into-
You do not ring it. You do not ring it. But it opens the pockets. It's allowing the pocket to breathe, which is very crucial to cooling. It's no longer going to hurt your tongue. It's also taking a lot of the grease out, and it becomes an exquisite snack.
Okay. Okay.
So
Really?
yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't given you. I just gave you some like barbaric just put the pizza rolls in the oven. It's not. It's
Okay.
a well just oiled machine that you want to walk through. So pizza rolls.
okay.
I think there's room in the food industry for thin crust bagel bites, and I think that might be
I'd be open.
preferred.
I would be open.
Yeah, because I haven't explained that. What I do is I take a pocket knife, and I just begin to same one that I cut down, felled some trees in my backyard, and I just began. I cut out some of the needless carbs because I'm on
Okay.
a stringent carb diet, right? And so Not that I avoid it completely. Everything with moderation, am I right?
Right.
Oh
right.
my
You know?
goodness.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's good.
Last one. And you don't have to answer. You don't.
Thank you.
Okay.
I won't.
Okay. Who's the favorite daughter?
Go first.
I would say Janaya. Yeah, she's my favorite
Okay.
daughter of Jeremy's.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Sydney is
I'm
not going to
honored.
like
Oh
that.
my goodness.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Here's why. Okay, and I hope Sydney's listening.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I want her
Honestly,
to
she
step up.
doesn't.
She
And
doesn't.
She doesn't.
Reason one.
So we're safe.
Reason
Secret's
one.
safe with
She's
us.
not part of the riffraff.
No.
She's not.
Okay. Reason two. She. I mean, I was in Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
And
We bonded.
I just felt like there was a connection of Disney and you were
Okay.
with my girls and like I'm like just like yeah. So Sydney's great.
I love your girls,
right?
by the way. They're
Okay,
so
what I'm
sweet.
gonna say, you're my favorite. I would say Sunday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would probably say Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you got them 4 out of the 7 days.
Yes.
That's good.
So
I
that's
would
why.
say my favorite. My girls are tied, but who I'm most affectionate with, Millie.
Oh my.
Millie the dog. And I know that would shock you, but
It doesn't shock
I
me.
have never been as affectionate with my girls as I am with Millie the
No,
dog.
It does kind of hurt a little
I
bit.
agree.
So, Riff Raff, thank you for your attention span. And we're just thrilled to be able to have you, Janaya. Thanks for you kind of hosted this thing. A
was
guest
fun.
host. Well done. So
You serious that Sydney doesn't listen to this thing?
I'm dead serious.
send her this one. Send her
What
this one.
in
Tell her to
the
skip.
world?
Tell her to
I
skip.
know.
She's very efficient. So tell her, hey, skip to minute like 33.
Yeah.
And Justin's got some words of affirmation for her.
I know. It
So-
wasn't, this was fun. I've got many more questions. That I would
Okay.
love
All right,
to
Riff Raff,
next time.
go to the show notes, hit the link, send in your questions. Those are some heavy hitters. And awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Riff. We'll have a brand new episode every week, wherever you find podcasts.